Warning: the following video contains explicit language. Example, the F word. If that offends you in any way, shape, or form, you've been warned. Don't drop a comment because I will flame you in the next video. But if you do want to do that, then I'll still flame you in the next video because I'm an asshole. Enjoy the video.
All right, so last year when I got my hands on the Mavic Mini, I was pretty excited, mostly because of its size. Then I started flying it and I started to become a little bit more disappointed with it because the Wi-Fi transmission, it seemingly got blown around by the wind very, very easily. The max power load reached on the motors was a bit annoying and alarming, and it just feels really chintzy. It didn't feel, like DJI's quality. I mean, there were some unique things about this drone, but when I traveled, I never really considered taking this with me when I traveled, because there was a lot of limitations, like no RAW support, there was no 4K, which is really useful in certain situations. But with the Mini 2, I still don't know if it's actually worth buying. There are some interesting things about it. They did improve some things that I bitched about personally. But is it enough to buy a 249 gram drone in 2020? Let's get started. What's good, everybody? Ken here. And before you go and get all irate that I'm going to say something negative about the Mini 2, I actually don't have it in hand, so I can't actually say anything negative about it. However, we should have them next week. By that point, everybody and their fucking mother will have released their videos, and we'll get to see, what it's all about. So quickly going over the specifications of the Mini 2, we're going to see 4K up to 30 frames per second at 100 megabits. We now have raw photo support, which was something that I really wished for with this version, but we didn't get it. We get 31 minutes of flight time, stronger motors, and a higher wind rating, plus the compatibility of OcuSync 2. But with all that being said, a 249 gram drone, a sub 249 gram drone in 2020, isn't really enough with impending regulations that no doubt will be dropped the day after Christmas because the FAA is a sadistic fuck. Is it enough? And should you buy this versus something like the Mavic Air 2? Let me grab the Mavic Air 2 off the shelf. This is the Mavic Air 2 stacked up against the Mavic Mini, and you can see there is a pretty large difference in size. This is obviously $699, $799 depending on where you buy it, and this is going to launch for roughly $499. No doubt going to be some compromises here, as no optical avoidance, you get RAW support, Decine-alike right out of the box, and we have no idea if there's going to be any sort of Decine-alike support or any smart flight modes with the Mavic Mini 2. So right out of the gate, there are some differences that may or may not be worth your additional $200. The second thing is, these two drones have a lot in common as far as regulations go. Even though you don't have to register the Mavic Mini 2 or the Mini, anytime you think about using this professionally, you are going to have to register this drone. If you're a 107 pilot, you're going to need to register this, and it's going to basically act like any other drone as far as the rules and regulations go. Even at 249 grams, you're not going to be able to fly this thing anywhere. And I keep seeing this come up more and more, is that you're able to fly this anywhere. And that's not true, because the Mavic Mini is subjected to DJI's geofencing, the same as the Mavic Air 2. So it sort of makes me beg the question, why would anybody really want this little guy, the Mini 2, over the Mavic Air 2? Mavic Air 2 has stronger motors, same flight time, maybe a little bit better. It has a better build design, and overall there are more things to like about it. I don't know if there's more things to like about it. That's probably not true. I mean, there's probably equal things to like about it, but 4K 60, Decine-alike, you get the idea. There's definitely some stark contrast. And then obviously having some obstacle avoidance is really important, which you're not getting with the Mini 2. But with all that said, I'm still gonna get a Mini 2 because, well, that's what I do. I review drones and products here. And I guess if we had to make a pros and cons list of the two, the fact that this little guy is slightly smaller could make a big difference in somebody's bag. I am trying to become a minimalist when I travel, and not gonna lie, the littler size of this could make a big difference, but the size to me still is its biggest weakness, especially when the wind starts kicking. This thing becomes really hard to control. So hopefully those stronger motors do help. We'll have to wait and see. But if you are considering picking one of these up, or maybe you don't have a drone, or maybe you do have a drone, and you're like, you know, I want to add to my arsenal, you know, and you don't have an Air 2, maybe you'd consider the Air 2 over the Mini 2 just because of the size, and, you know, you're just getting so much more out of the drone than you would with the Mini 2. But there you go. Those are some things to consider. I don't know if anybody's really talked about these things. I've seen a lot of positive things. A lot of people are really super, super excited. This is probably the most popular drone that DJI has ever built. And if you look at anybody's videos, they just blow up if you say you fart Mini 2, and people are like, it's going to be a great drone either or way. I just don't know if it's like worth the trade-off. If you're spending your hard-earned money, I don't know if it's going to be worth the trade-off to skip the Air 2 over the Mini 2. I mean, just because it's newer doesn't mean it's better. It's one thing to remember. And just because you have a drone doesn't mean you need a drone, another drone. You know what? Fuck it. It's your money. But buy them both. Fucking buy. You know what? You want a Mavic 2 Pro? Buy the Mavic 2 Pro. If that's not good enough, buy the Evo 2. Just buy all the fucking drones. Don't listen to me. Buy all the fucking drones.